Yo, what's up? This is Tariq Sharif. I'm the co-founder of Rolling Loud Festival. I'm Wi-Fi's Funerals manager as well as Henry Dayer's manager. You're watching The Plug with HotNewHipHop. We started out booking shows in Florida under our company Dope ENT. We basically saw a void in the market where not a lot of the rappers at the time were getting booked for regular concerts, like whether it was Currency or Wale, Big Sean, that type of scene at the time, 2010. So we were like, hey, there's a business there. So that's where we started, and we just kept building it up more consistently in Florida. We would do shows in Orlando, Miami, Tampa, sometimes Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Gainesville. Just kept it real consistent till 2014, and at that point, we came up with the concept for Rolling Loud, and the rest was history. I was like kind of a college student. I would like take a semester off here, and I just didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? So here and there, I'd be in classes, but at first, I tried like being a rapper. I never put anything out, but I would like rap for fun, and I would get studio time and make songs, but I never was confident with my delivery. We always used to throw parties like since high school. I remember we threw a party for Hurricane Katrina relief, and we raised like $5,000 and donated it to the Red Cross. That was like the first time I ever saw money off a party. Then I found out in October 2010 that at first I got viral meningitis. Then I found out I was having a kid and lost all my money on my first event. So it was like October 2010. I just turned 21, and I was like, fuck. In Tallahassee, you feel me? Like in my little bedroom with my roommates, you know what I mean? Like staring at myself in the mirror like, bro, you are about to be a dad? You're broke? What? So I don't know, man. I just didn't quit, though. I locked myself in my room for like 2 days, and like that was my sadness, you know? And then I was like, all right, let's go. Me and my partner, Matt, never looked back. I was getting fucked up and partying all the time, you know? Like, I mean, I don't do real drugs. Like, I drink and smoke weed, but like, I was partying. I threw parties. I had a 3-car garage in my house with a stripper pole, 120-inch projector screen, triple kegerator, a L-shaped bar that we built made out of oak, stained it and glassed it with epoxy. It was fire. But yeah, we partied hard, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa. But the beautiful thing was, though, like it was my girlfriend. So like we're married now, so it's fire. What got me first of all, like I was always like the writer in class. Like my teachers would like make me recite my essays in front of the class. Like I was pretty good at writing. But as far as like music, I would say my biggest inspirations were like Notorious B.I.G., Currency, and Lil Wayne, and Damian Marley. Yeah, those are like, in my opinion, like and Jay-Z, like those, and Eminem. Those are like top tier lyricists to me. And everybody else is great too, but like those were the guys that like really like were my foundation. Well, at first we're talking like 2010, 2011, like people weren't up on rap like they are now. Like it was like you'd go to the club and like rock with like whatever was popping at the time, but people weren't going to hip-hop shows, like not like they are now. So that was like, it was an uphill battle to like promote the shows and themselves. Like I knew the core audience was going, but like getting like the casual listener to go, like they were like, wait, you want me to go watch a rapper rap? Like, do they even perform? Like there's a bunch of unknowns, but we pushed through that. Other concerns are obstacles we faced were like the venues not wanting to host rap music. Rolling Loud, but not the first Spitta tour we did, man. That was like the first show we did was Rick Ross, and like that was like an after party, and we didn't do well because like we got out promoted by the other after party. So that was a big L for us. That's when I lost all my money, or we lost all our money, myself and my partner Matt Zingler. But the most memorable for me, like just thinking back, is like the next thing we did was we booked Currency for 3 shows, February 9th, 10th, and 12th, 2011. And they all did well, Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. Like Miami sold out. And it was so dope because like Currency landed at the airport, I picked him up in my Tahoe. We went to go cop Bud. We went to the show. We went to the hotel. We drove to Tampa the next day in my Tahoe. Then he flew to LA for the off day to record his Rooftops verse for Wiz's album Rolling Papers. Then he flew back, played us the verse. We spazzed. And then we did the Miami show. And it was just like the camaraderie of like Spitta was like on his come up. We were just like fresh in the game. I was like his biggest fan. So just like looking back, just like us, like just a bunch of G's rolling around, like having fun. Like you'll never recreate a moment like that because now we all have like more money than we did then, and like Spitta wouldn't want to ride in my Tahoe now, you know. But it's like back then we didn't have much of a choice. Now it's like tour bus, Sprinter van. Some of those grassroots times, I used to like drive Big Sean around. Like I remember I've done like 2-hour drives with Big Sean, like in multiple times, just me and him. Like, yeah, like I had to pick him up from the airport in Orlando, drive him to Gainesville. We did a show in Gainesville, and then I had to drive from Gainesville to Jacksonville at like 3 in the morning for his flight out of Jacksonville. Lately, my least favorite part is the trolls, like that, like just troll your comments, because like Rolling Loud has grown to this level where it's like, I don't know, man, like so many people commenting on our stuff, and so many, like there's trolls, and when I see trolls it pisses me off. But like before, what was annoying would be just like if you have like sometimes you would book a show and you would think it would sell really well and it wouldn't. That would be annoying. It's annoying when an artist doesn't have a good team around them. It's beautiful when an artist does have a good team around them. I love that. And lately also just dealing with like the politics of it all. Like now that there's such a big microscope on it, just like you got to be politically correct all the time. Oh, and the lineup placement. That's like a huge headache with the artists. Cause like, yeah, and it's like, what is the right line? You know, like who's bigger right now? Who's bigger in general? Like, how do you really make that argument? Yeah, it's like, and then I have to like, or we have to tiptoe this line between the two artists, like if there's a dispute or something, and I have to like not disrespect either. But we do pretty good at that. My favorite part, man, is looking out to the crowd when I get like, especially at Rolling Loud, like I'll be busy most of the show, most of each day, like running around, like doing what we got to do to make the show happen, because there's a lot of work behind the scenes. But my favorite part is getting out, like when I do get some time, stepping out onto the stage and like looking out at the crowd when one of the artists is performing and just watching like thousands of people just like be so happy. I remember my grandma told me, she was like, doesn't matter how much money you make, you're bringing happiness to the people. And I was like, that's real, Grandma. Honestly, like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm like great friends with a lot of artists, because the truth is like they're busy, man, you know, like to have a real friendship with an artist, like they got their friends, you know what I mean? Like I'm not even going to say like me and Spitta are great friends, but it's respect, you know, like I love that guy. I'm pretty sure he loves me back. We hang out. It's cool. But other people, like there's my artist Wi-Fi. That's like my brother, my son, my everything. Like I love him. I'm cool. Lately I'm struck a friendship with DJ Carnage. He's a dope guy. Yeah, he's real nice. Like he's in South Africa right now. My mom has a space over there, so I'm trying to get my mom on the phone and let him stay there. Who else am I cool with? Like Ski Mask. Yeah, like everybody from Florida, like Curry, Ski Mask, Puya, X, Smoke Perp, Wi-Fi, like all those guys, like that's home team, regardless of like if anybody falters or like if any of us make mistakes or whatever, like we got each other's back. Space Ghost Perp birthed it all. You know, a lot of people have their feelings about Space Ghost Perp, and wherever he's at right now in his mental space is like an anomaly, you know. He's like a unicorn. Like he's like very rare. But he birthed the whole South Florida scene as it is today. And that was like kind of before we started. And then when we started, you had his offspring. That's what I like to call them, or like, you know, the people that were inspired by him. You got Rob Banks, Denzel, Puya, like all Raider Clan. That was like, yeah, Simi. That kicked it off. And then those people inspired Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi came after them, and then you had X and Pump and Perp come after Wi-Fi. But what I think made it blow up is just like, first of all, I fundamentally believe that like the good shit always percolates to the top. Like I look at like quality music like bubbles in a fizzy drink, like the bubbles in your soda, like it's coming to the top regardless. So like maybe something will get in the way, maybe something will push it up faster, you know what I'm saying? But like if it's real, if it's dope, it's gonna be noticed and recognized. So we were just like the vehicle to like help make that shit bubble. So it's like we knew Denzel was popping, but Denzel wasn't getting booked, so we booked Denzel. Like same thing with Rob, Puya. I remember we did a free show with Puya just because Puya was like, I want to do a free show. And I hit him like, I'll put it together for you. I got the venue. Like, there we go. 1,000 kids around the block. Crazy. But yeah, just the good shit percolates, and like the sound is awesome. It's inspired by like 3 6 Mafia, like the double triple time, and also like really lo-fi sound. Like it's birthing the whole movement. It birthed the whole movement. Like everybody you see doing stuff right now, other than like the Atlanta inspires also. Like you got the whole Migos, Gucci, like that whole scene, Thug, Future, that has its sound. But like the Florida sound is really kicking right now, and you see these other underground guys coming up, and they're coming off the Florida sound. Doesn't matter where they're from. Like now it's like you hear people from California that sound like they're from Florida. I don't do a good job juggling it. I'm not the best manager. I always say that. I feel like there's way better managers out there, but like nobody's gonna care about Wi-Fi like I care about Wi-Fi. That, you know, when I was broke, but he lived in my house. You know what I mean? Like I was still on my come up. But he stayed in my crib. Like that's like my blood. I would do anything for him. But like I'm busy with Rolling Loud, so. But at the end of the day, I'm always gonna look out for his best interest. Like nobody's gonna fuck him over on my watch. So that's number one. For me, management is number one. Like looking, if you got to be the guy or the woman or the team or whatever that no matter what is looking out for the artist's best interest. And then on top of you got to make sure that the other people around him are good at what they do. So, you know, you get him a great publicist, you make sure they got a good day-to-day, and make sure, like, whether you get them a record deal or stay independent, make sure they're working, try to have conversation, inspire them, like, make sure, like, they know that they're the shit and, like, they got this, and keep them motivated. Same thing with my producer I manage, Henry. It's really hard out there for a producer, but like he keeps it going. It's just about like keeping your artist inspired, and like, cause it can be real, like it can be real depressing in this music game when it's quiet for you, you know? Like you'll be popping 1 minute and then you're not dropping music and other people are getting popping and you're like, oh man, I want to be up there. But you got to bring them back down to earth, realize you can be there, let's just get to the studio. If the first Rolling Loud is how I met Wi-Fi, he had like 2,000 followers at the time, and I swear all of them tagged us to book him for Rolling Loud. Like he had so many. It was like he was like the originator. Like now everybody's like blow up at Rolling Loud's comments. You know, that's like the tactic. Like let's see if we get enough comments on Rolling Loud, they'll book us. Yeah, that's like a thing now, but it didn't used to be a thing. So he did that, and I was like, whoa, this kid's got a lot of people tweeting at us. But then I checked out his music. This is when he dropped Light Skin Trick Daddy. Yeah. So when I heard that and, like, this other song that he had with Max P, and I would just sit. I remember I was standing in my grandma's kitchen just, like, listening to it on my phone, and I was like, this kid's got it. Like, he knows what he's doing. And so from then on, we started working together. I can't say I learned it from Dre. I did tweet about this. I see it in Dre. I know he doesn't take no for an answer because I work with Dre, and I know that about him. But I learned that from TDE because we were working with TDE early. We booked Kendrick in 2012 for a show at the Moon in Tallahassee. You know, that's back when Kendrick was doing 1,000 people a show, you know. Working with them, you learn not to take no for an answer because they don't take no for an answer. A TDE show runs to the beat of TDE's drum. Even Rolling Loud, like Kendrick headlined Rolling Loud last year, but as soon as TDE steps on the property, it becomes TDE's festival. Like, it's crazy. But they don't take no for an answer. Like, they want a specific type of production, they get that type of production. They want X amount of free, like, comps, you know, they get that. They want bottle of 1942, even if it wasn't on the rider, they get that. You know what I mean? But they're real organized. I learned a lot from TDE. I learned a lot from G-Eazy's management. There's a lot of teams out there that are really moving properly, and I just learn from them. It depends. Like, if I'm on the road, like I am right now, like out here in New York, I just like wake up, do the stuff I got to do, and go to sleep. But at home, like, I got kids and stuff, so like I try to wake up as early as I can, like hang out with my family a little bit, hit the gym, try to take care of myself first, and then I just get on the phone, get on the computer, and email, call, text. I try not to do it right when I wake up. Like, I try to like put my phone in another room, but like it's so hard not to like just roll over and look at the phone and all of a sudden be working. Like, the truth is, like, I try to not do this, but the truth is, like, I'm working from when I wake up until I go to sleep, because when I wake up and I'm checking emails, texts, okay, I haven't even brushed my teeth, I haven't gotten up out of bed yet. Like, I'm just laying there like, oh, to do, blah, 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 blah. That's the reality of an entrepreneur. I think most entrepreneurs could share the same sentiment. I can't even say that I knew that this was going to happen, because I didn't, man. Like, people, you know, you get cocky people that are like, oh, I knew that we had this sauce and we were going to blow up. But nah, man, like, the first year, 2015, was a great show. At that point, I knew we had something, right? Because, like, it was packed out. People had a great time. But at the same time, we lost $100,000 on that show. So, like, I wasn't sure that we'd make it to the next year. Like, our financial partner could have been like, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses, walk away, and we would have been in a position where we would have had to find more money. But our financial partner believed in us, and the second year we were able to recoup the loss from the year before and make a little more money on top in 2016, as well as more than double our attendance and step up our talent budget. So that's when we had like Future and Thug, and like Lil B, and like it was a crazy lineup in 2016. And that's when it really got colossal, to a point where I was like looking out at the crowd like, whoa, this is really a lot of people. Because like the difference between the first year was 6,500 people, second year was 15,000. That difference is like huge. That was also when we moved to 2 days. But honestly, like, it was last year, the Miami show, like, after, like, because we had an issue with the city, like, they wanted to shut down our event, but we made it through that. And like, after we made it through that vote, like, the ticket sales went crazy. Like, we sold out. Like, just the energy going into 2017, Rolling Loud, was insane. At that point, I knew, like, all right, we're here. Like, now it's like, now we need to own it. Like, enough of like the sentimental shit. Like, okay, let's shed a couple tears, let's smile, let's laugh, but like, we got to get through this show and like, let's go, you know?
Where did the name Rolling Loud come from? Because, I mean, it's very
Bro, I don't even know. Like, it's like my partner and I came up with that name, but like, I don't even know how. Like, we still don't know if it was one of us that came up with it. Like, I don't even know how we came up with it, but like, I'm not going to sit here and define it for you, but it's like a double, triple, quadruple entendre. Like, there's like, you could define it a bunch of different ways, but the like PG version is like, we're rolling loud. Like, this is a loud space, and that's what we're doing, man. But you know, I'm rolling loud. Yo, for the most part, thank you to all the managers for not being late. Like, I'm real pushy in the emails, like, before the festival, like, arrive 2 hours before your set, sets will get cut, etc., etc. But in 2016, Future was our headliner, and his flight got canceled or something. So he had to arrange for a private jet. He paid out of pocket a lot of money, so he walked away with less money than he could have, because he had to get the jet to show up. And but even so, he was like 2 hours late. So we had to deal with 2 hours of the crowd being like, what the hell is going on?
How do you manage
when you're in Wynwood and the event it's your second festival and you're not like the mastermind of festivals, you're still learning. Like you see like the people are like pushing the barricades. Like I'm worried the whole shit's gonna fall apart. Like they're gonna rush the stage. People are gonna die. Like I'm like thinking worst case scenario. So we started playing some weird chill music. First, me and Jules got on stage and we were playing like Biggie, and the crowd was like reciting it. But like then the DJ like started feeling himself and played some turnt shit, and I was like, no, chill. And then we started just playing like weird, like ambient, like super chill music, and people started like tweeting at us like, yo, what's going on? Where's Future? What is this music? That was like, but like that was not Future's fault. Don't get mad at Future, like, or his management. It was none of that. It was like the flight got canceled. He had no control, but props to Future for showing up. Like he did not have to. Like he could have been like, yo, my flight got canceled. I'm sorry. Like here's your money back. But instead, like he got there. All I gotta say is rap music's in a beautiful place. Like there's so much great talent out there. There's so much great music, and it's really about the timing now. Because you want to try to get these guys during their time when they're active, when they got music coming out, or when they're at their most relevant. So we have a lot of conversations with managers and agents and even artists about like, when's your music coming out? So like, with J. Cole, like I'm pretty sure there's a J. Cole album coming out before Rolling Loud. So like that's the conversation we had. So it's like, okay, you make sense. Whereas like when we were talking to Drake, it's like, yo, I don't got music, so like I'm gonna play your festival when it's right. Like when I got the new album, when it's the rollout time. So that's part of it. And then just like we listen to our fans a lot. Like we ask the fans who they want to see. We book who we like. Like if we're not listening to them, a lot of times we don't book them. I mean, there are exceptions because it's not like we have like the end-all be-all ear. And then like Matt likes to go to the club and like kind of hear what's playing in the club. And I'm really into social media. Like I'm really into like the ratio of like engagement to followers. Like I don't care how many followers you have. I care what percentage of those followers are engaging with you.
That's the segmented audience who's going to buy a ticket.
Exactly. So then on top of that, to like finalize my thought is like, we try to create a lineup that has enough combinations for the different fans. So like you have fans that are into lyricism, right? So for them we got J. Cole, Russ, Action Bronson, even Ski Mask's a lyricist, Wi-Fi's a lyricist. We got lyricists on our show, right? I'm blanking, but there's more. But then, we've got Uzi, Yachty, Cardi, like that fan base, Migos, you know what I'm saying? So like we try to make it so like whatever type of fan you are in hip-hop, there's enough of the artists on the bill that make it worth you spending the money on the ticket, and then your friends that might like the other artists, like it's like now you both want to go. Yeah. Like your friend that really likes J. Cole wants to go, but you really want to go because Migos, right? Or like vice versa. I mean, the first thing we do is find out who has beef, right? We know for the most part, but we look into it some more, and then we try to divide those guys on different days. So, for instance, like X and Migos had a beef, so it's like, all right, they got to be on different days, This was for L.A. Or whenever there's a beef, it's the same type of scenario. Like, all right, we'll just put them on different days, and then like kind of let each management know, like, don't come the next day, like don't come the day you're not performing because we don't want problems at our festival. We also like don't allow any weapons. Like everybody's patted down. Like everybody goes to the metal detector, artists included, to just provide for a safe show. Like obviously, like everybody knows what happened with Lil B. Like, so things do happen, but we try to like keep a lid on it and try to keep it as contained as possible. My biggest thing is just doing it better. Like I just try to do everything better than we did last time. So that's number one. But number two is like really just where I'm at right now is how can we enhance the fan experience even more? Like what brands can we bring in to do activations that are fun, You know, like, do we build, like in LA, we had a skate park, and we had the pro skaters like Nyjah Houston come through and like demo for people, which was super dope. On top of that, we're expanding our media department and putting out more content. And then, you know, like there are two artists in particular that we have not booked yet, Drake and Kanye. Hi Drake, hi Kanye. Yeah, man, come on, let's go. It's not that they don't want to do it. I'm hearing they want to do it, but this hasn't worked out yet. Don't do it. It's all for me. Back off. No, I'm just playing. If you want to get into doing events, man, like first of all, like know your market, like know what people want to see. Do like some research into the game a little bit, you know. Make sure you're not dealing with like a janky booking agent, or like you got to be booking with a real booking agent, you know. Get insurance. Get insurance. Get insurance. Stay on your P's and Q's, man. Like, take the risk. What's the worst that could happen? You lose money. Like, I've been broke. I'm not broke right now. You know? Like, it's okay to go broke. Like, you can go unbroke.